Hello all, Mr. Sully here. We have a custom quest to complete today and I cannot do it without you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your own Wrath of the Lich King private server on your computer in 5 easy steps. Let's do it.
Be careful.
This is for Windows-based machines. There is a link in the description below where you'll find the files necessary for this process. I didn't link them here because the Hungarian Nerd has a great video on this topic, and I wanted to show his channel some love because that's where I got my start. But please note, his guide contains some steps that are unnecessary if you only want to set up your server on your computer to use yourself on your local machine. If you do want to set up a host server that other people can connect to, please watch his full video for those extra steps. So the files that you're going to need for this, Heidi SQL, so make sure you click on this link and download that. You'll need the WoW client, which you can find here, and you'll need the repack. Once you get your files downloaded, the first thing you're going to do is extract the files from the AC Web repack. Make sure you put these in their own specific folder. For me, I just put it on my Windows drive as this name. And these are the files you're going to see, server core and extras. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is open up command prompt. I always run this as an administrator just to make sure I have no issues with authorizations. And we'll just type in IP config. And this is going to give us our IP information. We're looking for the IP4 address. Mine is this, yours will be something different, and we will need that for a later step. The next thing we have to do is make sure that we port forward. In order to make this private server work, we have to open 2 ports on our machine so the software can talk to our computer. Those ports are 8085 and 3724. Note, if you have Starlink, you will need to use another router to make this work. I had an ASUS router from a previous internet setup, and so I simply connected the ASUS router to my Starlink router and my computer to the ASUS router. This tricks the computer into thinking that I'm connecting to the ASUS router for my internet. Each router has their own unique address, but generally you can input 192.168.1.1 into your browser and it will come up. In this case, because I have Starlink, I had to use a unique ASUS address to bypass Elon Musk. Next, we're going to need to add a new profile and enter the following. We're going to go ahead and look at one of my existing ones here, but it is a service name, which can be whatever you want. I just named mine WoW 8085. The protocol is TCP and UDP, so you can select both. The external port is 8085, internal port 8085, and the internal IP address is the one that we found when we looked up the IP config earlier in this step. That goes there. Sometimes you can click this and you can see that this is my desktop name. That's the same exact name as your internal IP address. It just depends on how your router looks at it. You hit OK and set up another profile. You do the exact same settings, but for 3724 as your port number instead of 8085. So you need to have both. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Heidi SQL. This is the database management program that we're going to use. This should be the first thing you see. Now, I've seen the password be root before, but from the download that you should have gotten, it should be ASCENT. That will open up this program. Now, we've got auth, which is the auth server that you connect through. You got characters, you got the SQL, website, world. Now, this stuff's not important right now, but the auth is. So you'll hit auth and expand it. Go to your realm list. Now here you can see we got unnamed, database, table realm list, and data. You want to go to data. Now, the name is unimportant. It should default to Booty Bay. You can name this whatever you want. I'm going to name this Sully Server. Now, what does matter is the address. Now, this is your local address, 127.0.0.1. This is not going to be default for you. It's going to be whatever was on this as you download the repack. If you're going to go the further steps and connect this online for other people to connect to, then you'll want to follow the steps on the previously mentioned video from the Hungarian Nerd. But if you only want this to be connected on your PC, follow these steps. In address, you put 127.0.0.1. In your local address, you put 127.0.0.1. Come up here. You actually have to click out of it to make the change. And then up here on this little bar, you just hit refresh, which saves your changes. Now make sure your port here is 8085. This is literally connected to the port that we just opened up on our local machine. The next step in this is to make sure that your client is configured correctly. So this is the World of Warcraft client that you downloaded. You'll want to go to your data, NUS, realm list. You'll need Notepad or something like that to open it. And you want to set your realm list to 127.0.0.1. And this is the same address we just typed into Heidi SQL. So you're going to want to go to the AC Web Repack folder that you downloaded earlier. Double click on that, open it up, go to the server. We're going to click on MySQL. That's going to initialize the database. You'll see a window like this pop up, and you can go ahead and minimize that once it loads up. We'll back on out of that one level, go to the core, and we want to authorize the auth server. Now for the first time, you'll probably get a pop-up that says, do you want to enable this or authorize this for your computer? Hit yes. And then you should see your server added the realm, Sully server. You saw me name that just a couple minutes ago on port 8085. There we go. We're going to minimize that. And now we're going to hit the world server, which pops up another window. This is going to load the server now. It says ready. Now what you'll need to do is you'll need to create your own account. Account, create. Let's do test, space, test. That means you've got test as the user ID, test as the password. Now, if you want to be a GM, which I'm sure most of you will want to be, you'll type in account, set GM level, space, we'll do test because that's what we named our account, space 3, space -1. And once we have this set up, now we can try to log in. So you want to go back to your World of Warcraft folder that you downloaded, and you'll just want to simply click on the WoW. We're going to type in test and test. And there we are. You see our Sully server here, got your add-ons folder here, create new character. And now we are logging into our own server. Work complete. Go with honor, friend. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching this video on how to set up your own Wrath of the Lich King server. Please like and subscribe because I will be making additional videos showing you how to customize your server, starting with beginner-friendly options and moving into more robust options to really make your server yours.
Look, Mom! I'm flying!